but what I'm realizing, it's like it's all about like if I want to be seen or not be seen, right? I will feel good if I'm seen, or I will feel good if I'm not seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So even though it comes to do with like if it makes you feel good or not feel good, it also has to do that feel good or not feel good is tied in to the being seen part.
Welcome to the Better Man Podcast with Ivan and Sumedh. This podcast is all about how to be an optimal, conscious male in today's society. Join Ivan and Sumedh as they go deep into the rabbit hole of personal growth, mindset, social dynamics, and spirituality. Are you ready to be a better man?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Better Man Podcast with Ivan and Sumedh.
We are so happy for you to join us every single week, and we're super grateful to have you on. That is what we appreciate. Real, true, dedicated fans. Thank you so much.
And today we're going to be talking about, should men care about their appearance? Simple answer, yes and no. But before we get into it, we're going to go into our affirmations of the day.
All right.
I'm going to say one affirmation, and then Sumedh's going to say another affirmation. We're just going to do two affirmations today because both of these affirmations are very powerful.
All right. Let's do it.
So we take a deep breath in. And we let it out. I do not fear being judged.
I do not fear being judged. I am a decision maker.
I am a decision maker.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yes.
dude, I feel like a god.
Yes.
I am a god. I am a god.
We're both light. It's so weird to think that, like, we are light, you know? I sometimes ponder on that all the time. Like, I'm light? You're
I
light?
know, bro. What the fuck, man?
This beggar's light? This tree is light? Like, this desk that I'm working on is light? God damn.
And it's so crazy because I think I read somewhere that it was like we can take, so the only thing that has like actually is like a matter, is like real matter. We take all of your cells, right?
Mm.
And the only thing that's inside of it, because you're mainly just empty space, as crazy as that is.
Yeah.
You're just empty space, right? But you have your protons and your neutrons, which make up your nucleus. That's the only real matter, right?
Mhm.
Well, if we take all of yours and we take all of the protons and neutrons from everyone in the whole world, everyone, we would have about half of a centimeter. It could fit inside of half of a centimeter, like inside of like somebody playing the world's smallest violin between their fingers. Literally, that's how crazy. We could fit the whole world inside of somebody's fucking thumb and index finger. God damn.
That's wild. That's wild, man. Yeah.
Yo, so Sumedh, do you care about your appearance? By the way, I see that tiger blem. I love it. It's good on you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I do. I feel like I've always been moved to express myself through my appearance. I've always felt like I've been quite a stylish type of guy. In college, I would always stand out. People would know me as that guy who dressed up different weird clothes and like stylish clothes, So yeah, I definitely feel like there's an importance to appearing well and feeling good with how you dress, feeling good in your body, comfortable in your skin. Because self-love is where it really all starts in terms of your appearance. Like, if you don't like something about your appearance, always try and do some mirror work. That's what I would recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look in the mirror and transform it. Like, if you're like, I have baggy eyes, whatever. They're Gucci, baby. Let's go.
They're Gucci bags. The bags under my eyes are Gucci.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, transform it. I think that's a powerful technique. A lot of guys, they get called metrosexual or gay when they like put too much importance on their looks.
Dude, you could in Mexico, in like some small ass town, you can get called gay if you have long hair.
That's ridiculous.
Like, you fucking small-minded, pathetic humans. I love you. I'm sorry for seeing you as anything less than, your divine spiritual self. But you're a sinner. You are a sinner, because to be a sinner means to be ignorant. Now, it's really interesting that whenever something I noticed when I went through my depression, I didn't necessarily care much about my appearance as much, right?
Yeah.
I didn't do my hair. I would take less showers, literally shit like that. I would just wear the same clothes, and it was just like pajama clothes is what I call it. Clothes that you could wear as a pajama. It's like sweats and shorts and hoodies and shit. And it actually, when you see somebody and they're not properly groomed, let's just say properly, they appear low status, right? And if you don't have your emotions, people who don't have like their emotions, aligned, they are naturally more low status. And, to be low status just means that you get less of what you want, and you're not living the life that you want. You're being less of who you truly are and should be.
Yeah, also I've noticed, like, what we learned in Sumedh was that perception of value
is greater.
It triumphs actual value. So the thing is, if you
in the beginning, of course.
In the beginning, of course, in terms of first impression. So if you show up in a suit, you know that people are gonna respect you more, just right off that.
Totally, dude.
They're gonna call you sir. Today I got called sir.
Because I
wore a bow tie. Like, just you know what I'm saying? That little tweak like causes a level of respect, which is ingrained into society. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And whenever I began to develop my sense of style, I was maybe about 12, 13 years old. I went to a school where we had to wear a uniform. And
I was in the school.
all the shirts were the same, but you had to wear khaki or navy blue pants. And they didn't really care about what shoes you wore, right? So in terms of pants, you could choose the kind of pants that you wanted to wear, as long as they were navy blue or khaki. So what that forced me to do, and it put me in a situation where, I personally love to be seen. I love to be seen. I'd say it's one of my positive traits. And I looked for ways that I could stand out, within the crowd, where everyone's supposed to look the same. That's the reason they give you a uniform, to make everybody more equal in a way. But I, don't like to be equal to anybody. I'm not equal to anybody. Don't ever think that, we are the same. We're definitely not the same. We might be very similar, but we're not the same. And I love my differentness to stand out, whether my differentness is a negative or a positive. I'm okay with it. I want it to be seen, So yeah, that's something that definitely like taught me about, like, picking my own belt, or wearing different bracelets, or beginning to wear necklaces to add to the details, right? Picking my shoes, the way that I would maybe, would I fold my pants at the bottom? Would I not fold my pants at the bottom? What type of fold was I doing? Right? Crazy shit. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, man, we had dress code, a dress code. Well, yeah, we had to wear like a certain kind of dress in high school as well, and everybody wore
Hmm.
the same thing, so it was very difficult to stand out. But I noticed some of the popular kids would just like pop their collars up like just to
Dude.
stand out, just to make it
Uh-huh.
like a little bit of difference. And I noticed that, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I generally didn't care too much about tailoring back in the past because I grew up in underground hip hop world. So all my clothes were like XL,
Baggy.
yeah, baggy.
Dude, I totally get
That.
that, bro. When I was little, my favorite pair of pants were a pair of pants that I bought at Dillard's, and they were Ecco United, right?
Yeah.
And and they
Echo
were
Unlimited,
super,
you mean? Yeah,
yeah, Ecco
yeah. I
Unlimited
love that
with the
brand.
fucking rhino,
Rhino,
and
yeah.
it had like fox leather going down one of the legs, and it said Echo Unlimited.
Yeah.
And
That's
that
awesome.
would, dude, I love those pants so much, dude. I still love them till this day. Don't know where the fuck they went though.
Yeah, there's certain clothes and brands that just like definitely catch your eye, and Echo is definitely one of those. It's just like he started out as a graffiti artist, Mark Echo, and then he
Oh,
went,
really?
yeah, then he went into designing clothes. So there's like definitely some street in it. So yeah, a
Mm.
lot of these people who just start clothing fashion brands, um, the people who do high-end fashion, they don't really have street smarts or been in the streets. I'm not speaking for everyone, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
they're generally born into wealthier families, or they get the processions there to make their brand pop. But these street
Mm-hmm.
these street brands that rise, like those people that like there's a certain level of respect for that. That's why Supreme is so it's a street brand, but it's also high end. And
Definitely, bro.
like
Definitely.
they like wait outside the store or the tent or whatever just to get the new
Mm-hmm.
props or whatever. And I feel like human beings should also treat themselves
Woo.
that valuably, like they're a brand. Because a lot
Mm.
of people don't look at themselves as a brand, but what you're wearing, what you're doing, your catchphrase, how you show up on
Your
time,
catchphrase, yeah, yeah.
whatever, that is all your brand. And so
That's
people,
all part of your appearance. That's all
right,
part of your appearance.
exactly,
It doesn't necessarily have to all do with how you look, or if you do your eyebrows or shit. Like, I mean, I totally do my eyebrows. I like to do that shit. I pluck them, right?
you
Or
mean,
I shave in a particular way. You know what I mean? Or I don't shave because I like the way it looks. That's caring about my appearance. You know what I mean? I
right?
like to be I like
I
I like to be
remember
hairy.
I remember back in the day when I had a unibrow, and I didn't even recognize it as as a big issue. But some of the friends that I was hanging around, especially women, they would notice it more than me. So women are very, tuned into like guys' looks and the way they portray themselves, because they love,
Mhm.
think about this. Girls grow up with dressing games online and like dolls and like
Mhm.
dollhouse, all this kind of stuff. And so generally that they know a lot about just from their intuition, first of all, but also like they have a very keen sense of style and fashion, right? And I
Mm,
was talking to a girl.
some I would just definitely say a lot of girls.
Yeah, a
But I
lot
would
of,
say they're forced to learn it by nature.
right, right. They're conditioned into it a lot of the time too. Yeah, for sure. Like all their friends are buying Mac, and so they feel like kind of
Because
a
their
little.
marketing strategy, it's their marketing strategy.
That's exactly what I was about to say, bro. Like I was having this conversation with this girl. I was like, you're marketing right now. You have this cute dress on.
Wait, no way. You talk to girls? No way, bro.
Dude, I don't want to
I'm
get
kidding. I'm
cooties,
kidding.
bro.
I don't. I spoke to her with a window right in between us.
Yeah.
We wore gloves every time we touched.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We both wore hazmat suits because we don't want to, infect each other. Anyway,
Totally, I get you. Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, I was telling her like this is all marketing. What you're doing, your makeup, your hair. You spent probably hours in front of the mirror choosing this outfit, and that's all for your brand. That's all for marketing. Because what is marketing? Marketing is for a very specific purpose. Everything
Hmm.
else is extraneous besides marketing and innovation. All the other stuff,
Bro,
it's just
do you
extra.
remember when we were inside of the Pyramid Hotel in Las Vegas and we went
Yeah,
to the Starbucks and
yeah,
I was mentioning that to the lady behind me
yeah.
and she said women dress nice so they feel good.
Yeah.
And in my head I was like, no. But I was thinking about it right now, and like what like is that true? Do you dress good so you feel good?
A part of it,
I
yeah.
don't know.
I think that's
It's
partly
partly.
true. It's partly true. It's partly true because if somebody, uh, and I'm speaking from personal experience, if I get a new haircut, if I wear something really like new, if I buy a new pair of clothes like a shirt, I'm just excited. I'm excited to wear that, and that energy pulls me towards acting a bit differently. You'll notice, like when you get a fresh fade, you know what I mean? When you shave or when you like do something to your appearance, oftentimes you'll notice you carry yourself very differently too. So I think it's the same for women. It's like, hey, I bought this new eyeshadow. Ooh, all the guys are gonna look at me. Like, but also it's for themselves. Like, why they're buying that eyeshadow? It's like so they can look at themselves and appreciate that.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what, bro? I don't know. I'm still not convinced, and I'll tell you why. Because in the same way that I like to, like, I don't know, maybe some days I want to dress more like I'll dress more in darker clothes, right? That's more like I don't want to be seen, right? I don't want to be in the so-called spotlight, you know? Um, and on other days, I like to wear really bright clothes, different patterns, like totally different style out of anyone inside the fucking anywhere I would. It's like I want to go somewhere. I mean, let me re-say that again. Anywhere that I go, I'm going to be looking completely different than everybody in this room. That's my intention some days, right?
No.
Now, yes, I do feel good whenever I'm dressed in that way, but I don't always want to dress in that way, right? So it's like about me feeling good in terms of my expression, because sometimes my expression is more like Bill Gates or like Mark Zuckerberg, just wear whatever type of clothing, like, don't stand out, just some, basic clothing, even though none of my clothing is like necessarily very basic.
Mm.
um but it's like for me it's basic, like for me, like what I'm wearing right now is basic.
Mm.
um but what I'm realizing, it's like it's all about like if I want to be seen or not be seen, right? I will feel good if I'm seen, or I will feel good if I'm not seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So even though it comes to do with like if it makes you feel good or not feel good, it also has to do that feel good or not feel good is tied in to the being seen part.
Mm. Right. Yeah, yeah. I agree with you. And the thing is, we can't speak for women and what they feel, Maybe they have some totally different thoughts about this that we haven't even considered. So, um,
All right. Well, why don't we tap into womanhood right now? Why don't we just tap into that? Um.
well, what? Yeah, okay. You go ahead first.
All
Uh,
right. I'll grow a pair of tits right now, and
yeah.
I'm okay. I'm feeling the womanhood, tapping into my feminine fluid energy. My energy's moving. Mm. I'm a woman now. I'm a woman now,
Yin
and I
spark.
can And I can totally agree that everything that Ivan previously said was correct.
Bruh. Okay, so my if I try and tap into my yin right now, what I'm seeing is, yeah, I want to impress guys maybe, but I want to fit in with my girls, with my girlfriends. Like, I want them to accept me for who I am. I think that's a big part of it. It's like women don't really want to impress guys. They want to impress other girls. Oftentimes, guys do the same thing in the gym. They're not trying to impress the girls very specifically. A lot of the guys, they're like, can I outbench this dude? So in the same sense, it's almost about this idea. And you know, someone made a comment recently about the podcast on how we're very, you know, we're drawing into gender norms a lot. Like, we're going into the gender norms. However, when we speak about gender, it's not so much about male and female. It's about masculine.
About masculine and feminine.
Feminine energy. Yeah, exactly. So when we're talking about like being a better man, of course you have to have some feminine in there, or
we need to speak about it. We need to speak about it. Totally, you know, the feminine, the female, her status is derived from her beauty. You know what I mean? A man doesn't care about, like, I'm not ever like, yo, no way, she has a doctorate? Oh my God, that's so fucking hot. No, if you say, ooh, she's got real nice tits and beautiful fucking eyes and a symmetrical face, and she's got soft skin, and she's so delicate, and she's laughing. She likes to laugh a lot, and she likes to give people compliments. She loves to massage. She loves to take care of people. I'm painting this picture. You're like, damn, she's hot. She's hot, right? So of course, actually, even we must have some sort of that feminine energy, that femininity, that in a way your status is also derived from how beautiful you are.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? When you go up to a girl, the thing that, like, dressing nice and being nicely groomed and being handsome, let's just say those are like some aspects of beauty, right? Grooming, dressing, and your face. Oh, and one more, your body, right? Right, your body.
Absolutely.
If you have any of these, what that allows you to do is to enter an interaction much more easier. You know what I mean? People are more likely to want to engage with you because of your beauty. Like, let's go to the opposite, right? Let's go to like a James Bond looking like dude, and he's got like nice slicked hair. It's gelled to the side, right? He's shaved. You know what I mean? His clothes is not wrinkly. He smells good. He walks with a good posture. You can see that he works out, you know, by the way, you know, he holds his body and his arms and his chest, right? And then the opposite is like a homeless man. And he's got like his stinky clothes. He hasn't shaved. His face is like, his facial hair is like all weird, you know. Like, not that it's wrong to be, you know, have beards or whatever. He you know, his hair is like, it's like wild but not with purpose. You know what I mean? Because you can have like wild hair, but it has to be like, it's so weird because it's like a very specific kind of wild hair. You know what I mean? Right? And it's fucking funny. And your clothes is just like, I don't know, it's like baggy, but it's baggy in the wrong ways. You know what I mean? That is like very, you'd want to back away from that person naturally. Like, this lady, right? I was at the library, right? And she was kind of dressed kind of like, she looked bummy. She looked super bummy, dude, like really bummy, right? And I was like, oh, library's closed, because she was trying to get into the library. And I was just sitting down on the wall from the outside. getting Wi-Fi and shit, trying to send some stuff through WeTransfer.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, okay." And then she sits down maybe like I don't know, 3 yards away from me. She puts her backpack down and she pulls down an Apple MacBook from her backpack. And in that moment, I was like, "What the fuck?" I did not expect that because this bitch looked hella bummy with her fucking weird ass hair all over the place. She looked all wrinkly. Her clothes looked all like baggy in the wrong ways, like very plain. She looked dirty. You know, in a way, she looked dirty. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Almost at a point, you have to ask yourself, like, what you're appearing to other people? Like how is that? What are you broadcasting with that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And also part of you has to wonder, like, every single person of you, not person of you, but like every single person who is watching you has a different interpretation of you. So some might immediately see you and think, "Ooh, he's attractive." Another one might be, "Ooh, that guy's repulsive. He's weird." Another person might think, "Oh, wow, that's a gentleman." Another guy might see it, "Ooh, that guy's a bad boy." Everybody has different interpretations of you. You see what I'm saying? So the fact is, you don't have to really even worry about the identity factor that much because it's always changing. It's malleable in other people's eyes. All you have to focus on is stop shining the light inwards and just keep shining that light outwards to other people and listen to them. Like, I miss that out a lot because I'm always like, a lot of guys.
We get, you're so smart, bro. You're so smart, bro.
We get self-conscious. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're like, "Oh, does my hair look right in this light or this light?" It's like that's like that's how girls think too. I sometimes use that in sets as well. Like sometimes just start talking like girls, like, "Oh my god, I broke a nail!" Like, damn it, like, you know. But anyway, that's a separate story. But appearance, in a sense, it's like how you appear is always shifting, right? It's always changing. And so it's up to you to just maintain your authentic truth and how you wish to appear, how you prefer to appear, and try your best with the resources that you have to try and appear that way. Like, let's say a heavier guy, right? Bigger guy, maybe women might see him immediately and not think that he has those health indicators. Like maybe they might make some assumptions about him right off the bat. He's kind of, lazy. He doesn't really have any purpose, all these things. But a heavier guy, if he wears like a mafioso, like a type of suit, like a club owner, right? And rocks a little bit of a little bit of a goatee, has a little French beret there. He's a different guy. Your weight.
Totally.
The weight doesn't even matter at that point. He's just more hip. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, how can you, if you were to watch yourself in a movie, would you be attracted by you? Like, would you be turned on by you? You'd be like, "Oh, damn, that guy's awesome. That guy's an awesome hero on screen." Or are you just going to be like, "And this guy looks like a side character. He looks like an extra in the background." That's really what you have to think of. It's like, if you want to be charismatic, start carrying yourself in a charismatic way because that is how you appear. Making it an intention of like being playful and serious and find that balance. Because
dude, yeah, actually, I really like what you said earlier. I thought it was a very, very smart comment about, your appearance is not just your physical appearance. It's not just like your clothes and your hair. It's also, your internal emotions are being broadcasted out like a TV. You're like a show. Just imagine that somebody's following you around with a camera. What kind of show are people watching, right? They can tell like if everybody was just naked, we'd still be judging people by their appearance because their appearance would be their tonality, would be their posture, would be their expression of words. You know what I mean? Right? So if you're acting nervous, we can see that. It becomes part of your brand, part of your appearance, right? And then you also mentioned about like, oh, actually, you mentioned about the guy and he's wearing the beret or whatever. That seeded an idea in my mind that was like, when it comes to finding your own personal style, what you want to do is you say, who am I internally? And how do I want my clothes to be part of who I am?
Yeah,
become
bro.
part of an expression of who I am.
Yes, it amplifies your personality. Yeah.
Exactly. Totally. You know, like when you see people that are just wearing, I don't know, like, okay, maybe you have an example. You've seen this. I know you've seen this with this. Maybe you can help me describe this. In your high school, whenever people had to wear uniforms, there was like a generic way of wearing the uniform, right? And most people would not actually wear that generic form, like the ideal form that the school wanted you to wear, right? That ideal with like the grandpa shoes, the fat pants, right? And then like the tucked in shirt, black belt, right? There was people who dressed that way, right? And that was like a certain few people. I don't know. You could say those were the nerds. Let's just say those were the nerds. Even though I'm a nerd, I'm a straight up nerd. I've been a nerd my whole life. I had fucking all A honor roll and shit like that. I had a 4.13 GPA whenever I graduated. My classes were, AP classes, advanced placement shit. So I've been a nerd my whole life, but I didn't necessarily dress like the generic, geek. Let's just say geek, like a geek in a way. You know what I mean? But even we look at things like the Big Bang Theory, and those guys are considered geeks, but they have their own style. They have their own fashion. You notice that, right? Like it looks good for them. It becomes their expression of themselves, right? And you notice the people who are just wearing generic clothes, let's just say what their parents, I don't know, put on them or whatever, right? Those tend to be people who even lack an inner self-expression, who don't know how to express their words, vocalize their thoughts, vocalize their beliefs, speak to people, tell people the things they want to say, like, oh girl, you're fucking hot, you know what I mean? Oh, like, bro, you don't do that. I don't like it when you do that, Those people have trouble setting boundaries, right? Yeah. So it's crazy how your clothes can tell you so much about, does that person even set boundaries? Does that person say what they want to say? Is that person being the most authentic version of themselves based on their clothes? Now, you don't have to look like fucking Daddy Yankee. You don't have to look like Ed Sheeran. I don't know. You don't have to look like Justin Bieber or whatever. You don't have to wear Supreme. You don't have to wear high fashion, right? But it's all about that expression of self and having that unique sense of being.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and I think you said something in one of your posts that was very profound in a way, where you're talking about materialism and you're saying everything is material, right? You're saying this skin is material. This whole world is a material world because everything is matter, right? And so, like, it's so important to recognize, like, clothes don't make the person makes the clothes.
Totally. Like, I don't know, I could wear what you're wearing and not feel comfortable in it, you know what I mean? Or I could wear what Kanye West is wearing and not feel comfortable in it. I could wear what my dad or your dad is wearing, but I would not feel comfortable in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's certain things that just speak to you and that pull you towards in terms of your fashion sense. And a lot of times I think about this, like, if I didn't have this one experience, like, I know by being in London, like, that changed my fashion sense a lot. Like, I started to wear more like top man, like ripped jeans, that kind of vibe, like collared shirts.
Really?
Yeah, it like changed the way that I approached, because I had a very much more hippie kind of dressing style, I guess, when I was back in liberal arts, hippie college in the middle of nowhere in Vermont, right? So the thing is, your style is definitely being influenced by your environment and the place that you're in.
I'm so with that, bro. I'm so with that, because when I was little, I got Jordans, and I liked Jordans, you know, because that's what was like considered cool in my school.
There we go. Yeah. You don't even want to know what was cool in my school, bro. It's so whack.
All right, don't tell me.
Okay, I won't.
All right, let's move on. No, tell me.
It was those like little, like, what do you even call those? The little puka shell, like the
Bro, I love those, bro. I used to have a necklace like that. I would make necklaces like that, dude. Actually.
Yeah. I don't know why I got I got so much hate from it. Maybe it was just a, test.
Fucking losers, bro.
Whatever.
It might have been a test. It might have been like when I was in Las Vegas, a girl was like, "Are you wearing eyeliner?" Like, we've been talking for a while now, and she's got her whole, like, her hand around me. She's hugging me and shit. And she's like, "Are you wearing eyeliner?" And I was like, yeah. But she said it in a way like she didn't like it, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I love my eyeliner because I love my eyes, and I think it contrasts very nicely with the brown of my eyes, and I like to bring my attention to it. And then she was like, oh, okay, I really like how you're wearing eyeliner, da 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 da. And I was just like, that's right, bitch. That's right, bitch.
Yeah, it's the way you honestly own it. And I think a lot of people forget the fact that, like, you can dress outrageously, but if your personality does not match that, it's gonna be very difficult for you to pull that off. You know what I mean? Like, if you've never heard of a rock song in your life and you're trying to dress up like a rocker, and you're like going around like,
because you like a girl, some shit, and she listens to Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah, exactly.
You go out and you get yourself a pair of Doc Martens, and
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing you said earlier about the bumminess, I think is very interesting. It's funny to say a lot, but
it's a funny word, bro, right?
Yeah, bummy. But like, if you think about it, like, a lot of guys nowadays have stopped caring about those factors, and I think that's definitely trickled into different, like, moments of my life where I've noticed, like, being a hipster is like being ironic. You know what I mean? It's like
what?
And like,
bro, what you just said confused me so much, and now I gotta take a shit, bro.
So listen, like, so hipsters don't like being called hipsters, right? But they are hipsters. So the thing is, they'll wear a shirt that is ironic to them, that doesn't make sense, just for the fact as they're pulling into people's attention that this is ironic. So let's say you hate Coca-Cola and the Coca-Cola franchise, but you wear a Coca-Cola shirt. Like, this is the kind of weird people that I'm talking about. Okay, so
what the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
So there are people out there like this. So I want to give a word to the hipsters out there. Like, you know what? Do what makes you comfortable, but also you don't need to seek validation from the things that you're wearing. You know, it can, and I think that's a part of being a hipster, that you don't seek validation. However, I think a lot of people fall into this trap of, like, I'm going to do this edgy new thing, which is different from everybody else. But then, I don't know, also you lose a part of yourself when you do that.
Bro, what do you classify as trendy, right? What would you say is trendy? Because I thought about this right now. I don't know. You said a word and it triggered in me a memory. And I thought, like, well, we're living in a time where because of the way humans are, we have so many dominance hierarchies, we could say, right? Because humans are general creatures, right? So you can be at the top of a hierarchy of people in hip hop, or people in painting, or people in coaching, or top of the hierarchy in people who are professors, or reggaeton, or jazz, or right. So there's so many different dominance hierarchies, right?
In the
So
different
what's
crowds.
considered trendy, like it's like the rocker, right? So it's like there's not one thing that you could say is trendy, right?
Because there's so many sub trends. Yeah.
So because the other day I was walking and I saw this girl, and I just went up to her and I was talking, and she said, I told her, like, what do you think about me? And she said, oh, you look trendy, this and that. And in my head I was like, I don't think I look trendy. That wouldn't be a word I would use to describe myself, because in a way I associate the word trendy with being like following. That's it.
Right.
Following. And I
I
consider myself more of a leader. Yeah, totally, bro. I consider myself more of a leader, and I'm like, and I don't know. I was a bit offended, but I didn't show it. I just kind of suppressed it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I was wearing. I was wearing my LV belt. I was wearing my a black shirt, right, to match with the leather, because it's black, and it was like a turtleneck. And then I was wearing my gray pants that look kind of like checkered in a way. You know what I'm talking about? Like plaid, like the gray plaid pants that I have. And I was wearing they look kind of like slippers. They look like kind of like a Japanese freaking loafers, ninja shoes. Yeah, ninja shoes. That's the word I'm looking for, ninja shoes. And they're like, they have the camo on them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm wearing camo, I'm wearing plaid, and I'm wearing black, right? And this girl tells me that she thinks I look trendy. And I was like, I don't know, right? And then what I realized was, like, the way I'm gonna give you my personal secret to mastering your personal style. What I do is I take from different branches of styles, right? There's a cowboy, there's the rocker, there's, the people who, are into hip hop. There's like, reggaeton, right? That sort of stuff, right? And I take all that and I make it into my own. So I'm borrowing from different things and I'm mixing it together in a way that it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're integrating the styles. You're making it holistic, in a conscious sense, because you're like, all of those parts of you, maybe you have a little bit of a rocker side to you, tiny bit,
like 10, 15%, 15%.
Yeah, so there you go. So the little different fragments of your personality, you're using those, and you're helping your clothing to integrate those different splits in your personality, and you're giving them a warm hug by wearing them all together. That's wonderful.
Yeah, like, you've seen me wear my cowboy hat, right? And I'm wearing it with like suit pants, right? Those are the gray pants. They came with a suit. Just the top doesn't fit me anymore because I got pretty buff. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I used to wear a fur vest, and I used to love that fur vest, man.
Dude, it looked fucking fly, bro. Where's it at? I remember we took pictures in it.
Yeah,
in the restroom. Do you remember when we took pictures in the restroom?
Yeah. That fur vest was rocking, man. Yeah. Just because that's like, that style is just like, I look at that and I'm like, generally thinking like, it reminds me of shamanic cultures, like how they used to have animals. They used to wear animals, right, in order to depict that they are channeling their souls of the animals. So for that vest, it's just like, it's like, it looks kind of cool, yeah, it's trendy, but nah, it's like has a deeper meaning. A lot of people miss out the fact that clothing has deeper meaning to different people. So a person wearing a bracelet, you might think, maybe he just got it from H&M, but it might mean something different. You know, it might mean like, oh yeah, his grandmother passed away or something. He's wearing a locket from her. We never know.
I get you.
We never know the story, and I think the different things, accessories, your clothes, how well you maintain your skin, routine, whatever, all of that is a permission slip to allow you to be your higher self. It's like giving you permission to be that person. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm wearing this watch, but yeah, this is what my higher self would wear. I'm going to upgrade to a better watch in the future, but like this is what I have on now during my transformation phase. You see what I'm saying? So it's like what you wear oftentimes gives you, it allows you to be the type of person who would wear that thing. So when you put on that hat, like I know when I put on my fitted caps or my snapbacks, I turn into my rapper Scripps persona, and I use it as an element of my
as a different aspect of you.
Exactly. Yeah. It gives me
tuning into different aspects of you.
It gives me permission to bring out my freestyle side, if that makes sense. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. It kind of actually there was a post made on Instagram about hoop earrings.
Yeah.
And it was saying that like anytime a girl wears hoop earrings, she feels like a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Like there's some crazy spiritual element about hoop earrings that whenever you wear them, it brings out that kind of boss energy inside of you. And you can wear hoop earrings with any kind of outfit. It can be, sweats, it can be, pants, it can be, a nice dress. And you will have that sort of element of power. And now I want to get hoop earrings. I want to pierce my other ear, and I want to wear 2 hoop earrings, bro. I feel like that should be so badass.
Yeah, go for it, man. Why not? Like, that's if you feel like you can rock something, I definitely would at least recommend rocking it to try it out. You know what I mean? How you feel in them. Because what matters is how you feel in them. A lot of people think, oh, beauty is pain. Like I have to wear these heels because they're putting me through this turmoil, but they look good. No, it doesn't. You know what I mean? Beauty can be comfort. And there are a lot of styles, like who Trippie Redd is dating. That chick, she's all about being comfy. You know, that's her thing. And I think that's kind of cool, the fact that she's bringing this idea of comfort and clothing as well. Clothing doesn't necessarily have to be pain. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable for you to wear it. Sometimes it's necessary, right? Like you want to wear, like you go to a dress party, like a party with a certain kind of costume for Halloween, and you sort of scrimmage through your a Mickey Mouse costume or whatever the heck you're wearing, and you do it anyway because you like Mickey Mouse or whatever. There are certain circumstances that need you to have your fashion to that environment and put you through that struggle phase. But generally, it should put you into the release phase of the flow cycle. It should make you let go. A lot of girls use Halloween to dress more provocative, to dress more promiscuous, right? Yeah. So I don't want to say slutty, but that's the word.
No, you know what I mean? Even girls, they sort of, that's what they're going for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, I want to be a slutty policeman, or like if you're having sex with a girl and you're very comfortable with her, you could be like, I want to make you my little slut. You know what I mean? And she's gonna be like, you know what I mean? She's gonna love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is that she's using Halloween as her permission slip again. She's allowing herself to bring up that side of her that she's not showing the world.
Totally.
So,
well, actually, how do you think people can begin to allow themselves? Because I don't know, man. I think it all has to do, partially, I feel like it has to do with like confidence. Because I noticed that like every time somebody becomes more confident, their style and their appearance, they look more attractive. You know what I mean? I'm a man, right? I can look at another man and say, yo, that guy's attractive. That doesn't make me gay. That just means I know what looks attractive. And if I know what looks attractive, that means I can make myself attractive. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not gay if you say that shit. It means, aesthetics, right? But like, the question I was asking you was like, how do you think somebody can begin to tap into that?
Yeah, man, self-worth, I think, for sure. Like, when you lack self-worth, you deprive others of what you have to give. You have lots of gifts to give the world. You're meant to give the world. But if you don't have any self-worth, then they don't receive them. They don't receive your gifts. And so
It has to do with self-worth.
So others are waiting for you to have high self-worth. They're waiting for you to get your gifts. And so I would generally just say that, like, find a way to feel worthy in what you're wearing. Don't let the clothes wear you. Like, for instance, a girl who's very shy, who's never gone out in her life, she's invited to a party for the first time. Or even a guy, let's say, like, he's never gone out to a party ever. It's like he's in middle school, whatever. His mom is probably dressing him up, telling him, oh, Billy, you should wear this, you should wear that, right? He's just not having it. He wants to go out with his friends to go shopping for a new cool shirt to impress Sally. Whatever, right? Let's say that's the scenario. And he goes to this party, and now he has all this pressure.
Yeah, tell me, bro. Tell me.
He has all this pressure to approach Sally, and it goes well. It starts to go well. And he thinks it's the shirt that is making him do well. So the next day when he meets Sally, he's like, hey, Sally, and it doesn't go as well. So him, in his mind, he's correlated that shirt to be his lucky shirt. And so now every time he wants to buy similar shirts of that brand, similar things. And so he wants to repeat the cycle. So he's trying to get validation from his own clothes. Now, it could easily be that Sally is off that day, or some logistical issue, or her father asked her to do something and she wasn't very present that day. Whatever, it could be that. So the thing is, oftentimes you don't want to use your clothes as crutches. You want to allow your appearance to have a core confidence, and a core confidence that brings your energy up, that brings your vibration up, and you can be completely like unclothed, like, and still feel that you can impress Sally. You get what I'm saying? So the thing is, one of the activities that often is an important one, especially for guys getting comfortable within their own bodies, is just walk around naked, not in public, in your own home, in your own, wherever you feel most private, in your own room. Just be naked and look at yourself in the mirror and do that. A lot of negative feelings might come up to the surface. I have this man boobs, I have this thing. Oh, my cheek is drooping there. All this stuff will come up, whatever, right? But you want to be present with those emotions that come up and try and keep coming from that frame of love. Because when you come from that frame of love, that's when it all changes, I used to really hate my body. And the thing is, I never could really change my body until I started to love the aspects of my body. It's a paradox, right? It's like, so it's like, until I found the way to like, oh wait, I actually like me, man. I like them. I have long fingers. It's like feminist, it's poetic. Earlier, I was like, man, I have long fingers.
You can reach deeper into the pussy, bro. You can trust me.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like
I have shorter fingers.
Earlier, I wouldn't have realized that, but now I'm like, okay, I see the benefits that are there emerging from it. So when you start to love yourself, it allows you to see what is already there at times. It's like it reveals the curtains. The curtains are drawn, and you see yourself for what you really are. And I think that's a wonderful thing, especially when it comes to appearance.
Dude, you're cool. I love you. And I want to say that. And I want to say that. There's two things that came to mind. One of them I forgot them, but the other one I do remember because I was like, oh. So when it comes to impressing somebody, it's not wrong to want to impress somebody. It's actually not wrong. But it is wrong to care if the people got impressed or not. Right? Like one time I was out. I always remember this because all my friends commented on how well I handled this. I was out. We're, at a McDonald's or whatever. It's after the club and it's getting filled with people. And this guy, he goes up to me and he's like, "That's an ugly shirt." And I was like, "Thank you." And then he I completely disregarded him or whatever. And then my friend Ahmed was like, "Dude, I can't believe how well you handled that. Like you just did it so good. Like in a way you kind of told him like, fuck you, whatever you think is dumb. So it's like I wore that shirt because I thought it looked nice in it, and I wanted to, maybe impress a girl, be like, yo, what's up? She's gonna see it. So what I'm realizing is like, you should care to impress, but only care to impress those that are willing to be, those that are worthy of being impressed. Right. Those who are not worthy of being impressed, do not mind their opinion. Because you do have worth. And if other people don't see it, it doesn't mean that you don't have worth. It just means that you don't have worth in their eyes.
Yes, absolutely. That's wonderful, man. That's an amazing piece. And I think this reminds me of bullies in, like, let's say, I haven't had many bullies in my life, but for the ones that I've had, I've noticed the reason they had power over me is because I reacted to them. So the thing is, when a bully bullies you, if you're not upset by it, he is not a bully. Because all bullying is dominance hierarchy. Again, they want to have power over you. So if they see that you're not reacting to it, or you're ignoring it, or you're like taking it in another way, it's not gonna hit. It's not gonna give them that validation boost. It's not gonna give them that power dynamic, quote unquote, win. They want to win over you. But if you can come from the angle where you don't need to win, it's win-win. Like whatever they say, it doesn't affect you. That's an amazing way to handle a bully right there. And
dude, yeah, whenever in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, whenever they came inside the house to try to kill, and Brad Pitt was there, and they have like there's a chick, it's like there's 3 people, he's clearly outnumbered. 2 of them have knives, 1 of them has a gun, right? But
let's be honest, he's also high
on the devil.
Yeah.
No. But like his reaction, just like his reaction, the way that what he did was like,
I know.
He didn't feed, even though he was high off of LSD, like he also didn't feed into their energy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Their energy was like, I'm here to murder you, and you're gonna be my little bitch, and you're gonna die. That's one frame. It's a frame of reality that they're coming in from, right? he didn't say, "Oh, I agree with your frame." Like if he were to get scared, he's agreeing with their frame, and that gives them power and satisfaction. And when he didn't do that, when he laughed, the other people got uncomfortable. They were like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? So like, don't feed into a frame that does not serve you. If the frame is damaging you, don't. And even like, let's just say maybe if somebody like, makes fun of you, somebody teases you, kind of like, we do that to ourselves all the time. You know what I mean? Like earlier when I said to you, like, no way, bro, you talk to girls, right? You didn't go like, bro, shut the fuck up, and like whatever, like getting mad. You were like, yeah, cooties or whatever, and we turned it into a funny joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the banter. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's better. That's better than feeding into the frame. It's like,
and yeah, I think that honestly, when bullies are bullying, a part of them wants that person to not be in their state of weakness or shyness, so they think they're actually doing them a favor by toughening them up or pushing them. And
totally, I think I've been called a bully before, but in my opinion, I was trying to show tough love,
Exactly, you were triggering them to wake them up out of their trance, right? And
definitely, so, bro, I wanted to wake them up. Yeah,
and so the thing is, like, the real, like, bullying is confused with assault and battery. You know what I mean? Like, people punching you in the face, that's not bullying, bro. That's like a crime. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to like associate bullying with this tough guy who beats you up. Like, go to the authorities if someone kicks your ass like that. You know what I mean? Like, don't. So the thing is, we let fear of this bully stereotype oftentimes get into our minds. And it's not so much about bullying. It's about that dominance hierarchy, like I said. It's like you wanting power over somebody else. And if that person does not respond to your power, like, what's the point? It's like there's no point to bully anymore. It's just like, oh, this person isn't reacting to me? Fine, I'll go bully someone else.
Yeah, bro. Actually, I've had a lot of bullies in my life. Yeah. I've had a lot of bullies. Because I was a very sweet soul. I'm still a very fucking sweet soul, but now I'm very much more tougher, much more tapped into I had aggression, but I was kind of forced to not have that aggression, right? I don't know, but whatever, when you're a kid, you're just like a sweet kid, and you're not like people who are much older than you. They know more ways to take advantage of you because you're very innocent or whatever. Right. But I remember there was this kid and he would like twist my arm and he would hurt me and he'd be like, did that hurt? And I'd be like, no. And he'd twist my arm harder, like, to the back or whatever. And he's like, does that hurt? And I'm like, no. And he's doing it extra hard. And I'm like, and he's like, does that hurt? And I'm like, no, it doesn't hurt. Like, I'm fucking tough, bitch. Like, don't fucking, whatever you're doing, you can go harder. You can go harder. I'm not gonna give in. Like, I'm just gonna deny that it hurts. I'm just gonna deny that it fucking hurts. Now looking back at it, that was definitely some fucking bullying shit.
Yeah, it's like you're not gonna tap out, right? It's like you're there until the finish line. Yeah, that kind of mentality actually really tends.
I feel so. Oh, I remember now. What you said about walking around naked.
Yeah.
I remember one time my mom, she told me I was like 7, maybe 6, 7, 8. My mom, she told me to go outside and clean her car, right? And I was like, all right. And I just went outside and I had like a shirt that like, went like maybe halfway to my thighs or whatever. And I just took off all my clothes and I just kind of left the shirt on and I cleaned the car as I was naked. And I really, really enjoyed that, And I was just so comfortable with my naked self, like, I feel like that's a gift. It's a real gift. But I I try to figure out like how can people develop their sexual confidence, the thing is, I'm a Scorpio, so that's something that naturally comes to me, right? But the thing is, it wasn't like it's like it's there in part of your destiny, but if you do things, you're supposed to do things that put you in a way that connect you to your destiny, right? So it's like there could be people who are naturally alpha men, right? Or very grounded and centered, but it's not like they were just naturally like, it's not like they grew like at a plant and it just came out like that. It was like their life experiences and the things that they did were things that developed that sort of character, right? So I'm going to take that into account about what you said about walking around naked, because reflecting in my past, that is something I did. And now I can see it into my future. It's given me that benefit of that, right, that sexual confidence, of that expression.
Yeah.
Which all comes down to your appearance.
Exactly, man. And the thing is, like, if men get very, very shamed about their bodies a lot, and the thing is, like, women get this a lot more, I presume, with so much body image on the rise. But, guys who aren't, let's say, a very specific size in the gym, or guys who, this whole incel community of guys like complaining about their looks. Like, all this stuff just stems from a lack of self-worth. And that's essentially like what you have to come back to.
And a lack of experience, bro. And a lack of experience.
Yeah. And that lack of experience comes from fear, right? It's like you don't want to put yourself out there. You don't want to get new reference experiences. And so one of the things...
Well, I think those people really need coaches. Those people really, really need coaches. Kind of like, I used to have like the fear. I used to say shit like, it's because I'm short. You know what I mean? I'm not so short. You know what I mean? I'm like 5'6", which is it's still below like the average height in America for men. But I don't know. I guess I'm tall in Mexico. When I go to Mexico, I'm tall over there. But that's still short. And I used to say that. And I definitely know men that are out there who say, "Oh, girls don't want me because they only care about guys who are tall or whatever." It's totally not true, right? But they've only had the experience of that sort of thing. So whenever they go in to talk to a girl, they're already expecting that. That's what their mind is already looking for. That's what their mind is expecting. So they tend to manifest that and they try to make that happen.
Right. So I'm in the Flow Zone Academy. We're going to talk about something called the flow code. And every guy, every woman has a flow code. A flow code is essentially what makes you feel the best and perform your best. And a lot of people have flow codes that get in the way, like their coding is off. So let's say you're an introvert, but you think, I'm just shy. I was born this way. I never communicate.
Baby, I was born this way.
Right. But honestly, being an introvert can be a superpower in the sense you're observant of the world and you can tune into others a lot more. You're basically you get your energy from inside you and not energy from other people, as an extrovert does, right? And so the thing is, if that's your code, you got to work on your nonverbals, bro. If you don't like speaking with others, work on your posture, work on your eye contact, work on all this other stuff.
Work on your grunting.
Work on your grunting, yeah. Yeah, to balance out your flow code. Another flow code mistake. Older guys who feel like, I can't approach younger women because they'll think I'm the old creepy guy. That's their flow code is distorted. It's glitched. You see what I'm saying? So they need to change in their minds that no, like a woman wants an older man with a lot more experience, a lot more certainty, who has their shit together. Like, he needs to rewire that part of his brain to have the perfect flow code for himself. So that this is like something that I've been really discovering and talking about. But what's your opinion about this, Ivan? Do you think that
bro, I'm getting chills from thinking about what happened last night, man. Dude. I definitely think that, you're definitely right, like an older man who has trouble will say it's because I'm not young. And a younger man who has trouble will say it's because I'm not old.
Old, yeah.
You know what I mean? We're looking to rationalize it. We're looking to make justification for not being the way that we want to be. We'll say, oh, I'm not manly because I didn't have a father figure growing up, or I'm this way because of my parents. They made me this way. That's why I am this way, right? No, it's all about really taking that responsibility for everything in your life and saying, I chose this, and what can I learn from this? Because I see the tough things that happen to me in my life, I see them as my advantage all the way. Everything that you could say is so-called negative, so-called bad. It is negative from, the perspective of, being, in a vibrational aspect. Let's just say in a vibrational aspect, it is considered negative from the experiences that would be considered positive. But to me, those experiences that are considered negative, I consider them good.
Well, Ivan, I want to play devil's avocado here and just say that, a lot of people, they find...
Fuck them.
they find that their pity story, their victim mentality is actually serving them. They feel like they're getting attention from people. Oh my gosh, that's so bad that happened to you.
They will get that attention. Right?
Right.
But then what? Like, what's next after that?
Then what?
You can't benefit from that. You can benefit short term, but you're not gonna benefit long term. You know what I mean? Kind of like, what I was talking to my client today about. I told him what he needs to do is this weekend he needs to go to 6th Street, which is in Austin, Texas. That's like where you go to the clubs or whatever, right? For the best bars, best clubs. And I told him, you're going to approach 30 women in one night. That's what I told him. And I told him, you're not there to get to know her. You're not there to make her your girlfriend. You're not there for whatever. You're not there for the short-term effect. You're there so that you can benefit in 10 years from now, in 5 years from now, 30 years from now. You're going to have that benefit because by doing that, you're tapping into a parallel reality where you are courageous, where you take action, where you are decisive, and where you step into your fears, right? That was his homework. And he said he's going to do it. So, you know what I mean? He's going to do it. He has to do it. What was I talking about this? Why was I talking? Okay, because it was about so I said, it's not about the short term. You're not there for the short term. You're there for the long term. And that's what we have to start thinking. What is the long term? Because with that gratitude, that those gains that they're getting from pity, they're short term. They give you little serotonin. They justify your shit story, all right? But that story is not going to get you far in life. What do you want? Do you actually want to overcome it? Do you actually want to overcome your problem? Do you actually want to overcome your challenges? If you say yes, if your answer to that is yes, then you need to let go of that victim mentality. And the thing is, when somebody's in apathy, where they feel like they are the victim and that things did happen to them, the only way actually to get them to move up into what's the next stage? Do you know? Well, anyway, the stage to get you. Yeah, you can look that up. I'm gonna keep talking. To keep the viewers entertained, was you just tell them it's not your fault. It's not your fault, and they'll be like, "Oh, damn, that's so true. It's not my fault. It's not my fault."
Yeah, it's grief. I was right.
And yeah, you move, and then in grief, you are able to be more like, well, you know what? I am able to do something about it. You know what I mean? And that's still a low vibrating frequency because they're gonna be like, wishing, sort of wishful, but they're gonna know now that there is something that they can do something about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, anger is a really good one because it can often motivate you, and that's why it moves into pride and the consciousness scale. So it's one of those things like, be angry about the right things. You know what I mean? Like, be angry because you watched a Game of Thrones for the 15th time where you could have been doing stuff for your business, Be angry about the right kind of. Don't be angry like, oh, I'm angry at myself because, because this didn't go right, or something petty like that. Be angry for the things that you didn't follow through on, and use that anger as fuel in order for you to move forward.
Spot on, brother. Spot on. Yo, we've been talking for longer than an hour.
Yeah, man, I know. This is all bonus shit that they're getting.
Honestly, I feel like I can keep going for like another 10 minutes.
Yeah, you want to keep going?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, bro. If you made it this far, no, I'm not gonna say this. That's too private. That's actually too private. I'm really not gonna say it. So this whole episode is based on appearance.
Yeah.
Should men care about their appearance? So we spoke about the yes aspect. Maybe let's go into the no. Right? Why you shouldn't care about your physical appearance.
Right. One could be from a spiritual standpoint, right? Your body's always changing. You're not this body. You're not the same body you were when you were 12. And if you are 12 watching, well, you weren't the same body when you were a baby. You're constantly changing. You're going to get wrinkles, etc., etc. You're not this physical form. But what does stay is your energetic imprint. And I feel like that's really important to take note of. It's like, what is the legacy that you're leaving behind? Because a woman, is also going to get older, and, she's going to go through that stage of, menopause, and she's going to grow older. But where is her soul at? And similarly as a man, where is your soul at? And I would definitely say that in terms of attraction, sure, a good-looking guy, a piece of eye candy is important. But what's more important is that soul candy. You know what I'm saying?
How you are. You know what I mean? How present are you? How present are you in the moment? And that is one of the things that people have the hardest time doing. And I found out why, right? Thanks to Jordan Peterson, I was listening to one of his lectures, and he said that in basically, we're always thinking about the future, right? We're always thinking about the future, right? Work that we got to do in the future, anything, problems that we're going to face in the future, right? Our brain is wired to look for problems, right? So
That's true.
What happens? So that's the reason that people are not happy, because they're always thinking about the future, right? When you think about the future, that causes anxiety.
Yeah.
So being present, being in the right now in this moment, that's what causes peace. And that peace is very sexy.
Man, I always say that anxiety is like mental teleportation. You know what I'm saying? It's like time travel. You're going in the future. It's horrible is going to happen. Something bad has happened. So good question to ask yourself is, where am I? Am I in the future? Am I in the past? How can I bring myself back to presence? Because when you say present moment, it sounds like a full stop. But you want to have presence, something to carry with you, throughout time, like some kind of a cape that you wear. Presence, it's smooth, right? And so a lot of people are missing that aspect. They're meditating 5 minutes a day, but they're not meditating during the day. And
they're not living in a meditative state.
Exactly.
Focusing on the right now. What are you doing right now? Damn. Yo, but actually, I personally do feel that I do see it more as like a period, as like a dot, as like a point. But I see it as like one point, and the point never changes its shape.
Okay.
But the inside of the point is always changing. So there's only one point, and the inside is always changing.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective. Yeah.
And you can't even say like every second it's changing, because that would mean that it would be steady for a second and then it would change for a second. It's just like a river. It's just like, imagine like there's a river here. A river inside, like this is a kind of like a big point. It's the size of my face, right? Just imagine it's like very, very tiny, right? In terms of like what's happening in the realities, right? In the world. Because like I said, it's parallel universes. It's parallel universes, right? We can't go to the past, only mentally. We can't go to the future, only mentally, right? But right now, how many right nows are there? How many? I think I don't know. You could say there's an infinite amount of right nows.
Yeah, that's just wild to think about.
But really, they're all inside of one right now. All the right nows are inside of one right now.
Yeah, if you say I'm present, then a moment later, maybe you're not present, because so the thing is, like, if you're talking about thinking about presence, you're actually logicalizing. You're still in the logical mind of trying to figure something out. You're not actually living in the moment. You're not breathing the air. You're not seeing. You're not hearing. You're not tasting in your mouth. You're not engaging your senses. So one of the ways to become present is just to be aware of your senses. What am I feeling in my body? Tap in. Yeah, I have a crook in my neck. Okay. What does that mean? What does that say? Right? Tuning into ourselves and having that self-inquiry is really what it's all about, I think. And, appearance to someone that, people say things like, don't judge a book by its cover, but it's like, you don't even know what book this is, that you don't know what chapter they're on. So feel free to judge by the cover, but don't just stop at the cover. Look at the blurb, flip through the pages. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, take that metaphor of the book. Like, people are like volume, a huge encyclopedia. They're not this little tiny pamphlet, a brochure. People are complex, right? And so I would even just begin by understanding that, okay, I'm not going to get through this whole entire book in the first meeting of them, but I can read a couple chapters. I can get an understanding of
I can read a few pages. Yeah. Like I really like how you put it, it's like you can open the book and you could open it to the climax, or you could probably be opening up to some sort of resolution they're having in their life, or in the beginning, or in the hard part, you open it and it's like, what part of the hero's journey are you reading? And that's very interesting, and that's so true. That's exactly how it is. Like, it's always somebody going through something specifically in their life. So that's why every time that I catch myself judging somebody, like something, I catch myself judging like morbidly obese people. I don't know. I personally find it, um, I'm going to say this in the most sincere way. I find it very, like they're disrespecting themselves. Like they don't appreciate life. They don't appreciate themselves. And I find it really fucking disgusting when I see somebody who's so morbidly obese. But every time I catch myself doing that, I'm like, I apologize to them, telepathically, like, I'm sorry for seeing you as anything less than a divine spiritual being. Right? Or anytime that I catch myself judging somebody, like, oh, their pants, oh, their hair, oh, their smell, whatever shit, right? I immediately go, oh, there I go again with my stinky breath. Oh, there I go again with my fucking ugly pants. There I go again with my. So you know what I mean? In a way, like, judgments of other people that I make are things that I don't like about myself, or that I would hate to be. That would be me.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. A couple of things. One thing is that, judgment, the antidote to that is just curiosity. Just instead of judging someone, just become more curious about them. Just be like, oh, okay, they're fat. Like, maybe their dispositional factors like made them that way. They grew up with a fat family. They didn't know any better, or they have a disease that makes them fat. So all these things, get more curious about it instead of the first initial judgment. Secondly, when someone triggers you, a part of you believes it. That's why you get reactive and annoyed and triggered. So if I told someone like, oh, you're lazy, and you get, what the heck? No, I'm not, bro. I'm working so hard on it. A part of them believes it. That's why they're reacting. But if I said, you have green hair, you're like, what, bro? No, I don't.
Dude, you make such a good point, dude. Every time somebody reacts to it, it's because they believe it. Exactly. Oh my God, dude, that's such a good fucking point.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, that's such a good point. That's such a good point that I feel like we could end it here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right.
Sumedh, where can we? All right, I'll tell you. You can go to my Instagram. You can find me as Odd Resilience, ODD.resilience. Resilience as in you fall, you get back up. You can find me on Facebook as just look up Life Masters Coaching. You're gonna find my coaching business, which is very, very nice. It's a good place to go. I drop daily videos, especially on Facebook. I go live a lot of the time, and I'm just speaking a lot of very interesting things for a long time, or for short periods of time, talking about relationships, because relationships have to do, with us as well. If you're having trouble with your relationships, it's not the other person, it's you. So all of my thing is always about, like, you. How can we work on you? How can you get real with you? You know what I mean? Sumedh, what about you, brother?
All right, guys, you can check me out on www.flowzoneacademy.com. That's FLO, no W, FLO, Z or Z, ONE, depending where you're from. If you're British, you like to say Z. No, Z, sorry. I think
Zed,
so.
Dude, yeah, dude. When I got here, I was like, why are they saying Zed?
Right, so all right, so Flowzone Academy. You can also look me up on facebook.com/Sumedh, SUMEDH. I think it's -1. I'm not too sure what that is, but you can find me, Sumedh. You can also just look up Sumelevate on YouTube. I have a lot of videos on there, a couple of old videos. I'm going to start posting on there as well, combining it with Flowzone. And yeah, just reach out to me. I also have some Fiverr gigs for people who can't afford my very elite coaching programs. I do have a Fiverr gig for people who can just get some basic mindset stuff from me. And so yeah, that's Sume the Coach altogether, SUME the Coach. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Have an amazing, wonderful, fantabulous day. Be a better man today. And we'll see you next time. All right, guys? Peace out. Stay wonderful.